Let's make a quick installation guide on how to install these track lights. Grab your track live end and its trip, I guess, breaker or whatever. In this case, we're using a 2.7, and make sure you use the correct one for your track, because you can't have like a 0.5 one on like a track light that has like, I don't know, 20 track heads. So grab these and then grab your track. In this case, we'll have a 16-foot track. We'll just use 2 of these, and pay attention on one thing. If you look close, there's a line right here. There is not a line here. Pay attention to that line when you install the track, because the live end of the track has an arrow. This arrow goes to this line right here. So pay attention. So the way I start to install my track is I start with the live end first. So in this case, our track is going onto uni-strut. In that case, I get a 1/4 20 strut nut, cut off the spring, or if you have a twirl nut, put in a 1/4 20 Phillips and put her in at the beginning, like so. And I had to make this hole like slotted out because we have this all thread here that was kind of getting in the way of our strut nut. But here we go. We start off with the live end first, and we continue on to our 20-foot uni-strut. Well, it's existing. It should be 20 foot. Then I prep my track with 1/4 20 bolts, screws, and my strut nuts by taking out these plastic grommets, which sort of hold in this retainer, the conductor retainer within the track, like so. Once those grommets are out, this thing can move freely. So here's the hole. You just put 1/4 20 through there, strut nut on the other side. Makes it easier to install into the uni-strut. And whenever I have spring nuts, I usually like to cut off the spring when I'm using slotted uni-strut, because that spring usually goes into one of the holes up top. It makes it difficult to maneuver the track. So I just clip them off, and let's go set it into the uni-strut. And then after installing the initial first track, take off this end cap, put in the coupling, and then install the additional tracks as you go. And here's my coupling installed, and you can see it also has, let me see if we can focus on it, that little arrow that's pointing to this line. This line also serves a purpose to orient it when you're installing your track heads. Also, when you know which side of the line, well, which side of the track this line is, it makes it safer and easier to, when you're trimming the track, so that you don't cut it on the wrong side, you end up with like wasting track. So it serves its purpose, but always be mindful. It can be installed on either side, but always be mindful where the line is when you're trimming your track. You install it as such. You can install it from both sides of the live end. And typically you wanna hide this little switch in the back, but the way these covers come, you can't really, here's the track end, here's the switch end. That end, you have to knock it out, and there's no cap for this end that comes with this. So you have to have it sticking out, you know, facing the store. And there you go. Just make up your live end, you know, your ground, your neutral, and then throw the, coming from the switch, throw one of the hots to either side, it doesn't matter, and then throw the other side to your live end. In this case, this live end is single pole. There is no A and B switching. If there was A and B switching, you would have a second copper screw to where you throw your other leg. Oh, factory scuffed, that sucks. But yeah, and then check your voltage here, and then turn this on, and then check your voltage all the way at the end of your track to make sure you have power all the way along the track. And then install your track heads as per reflected ceiling. And here we are at the end of the track. We got voltage, that means there's power all the way along the track. Then after you checked all your voltages here, and then at the end, close it up and then start installing your track heads as per reflected ceiling. And here's the reflected ceiling plan, reflected ceiling, how it should look.
And then here's the size of our 16 feet, the total track. You get your measuring, and you get your center of these, the middle track head, and then you equally, usually it's like within six inches of the center. That's how you position your track heads. So there you go, simple.
And here you have the track head, and see these arrows right here? Those arrows supposed to point toward this line right here. That's why pay attention, because it will not work the other way. It might not even fit sometimes. So I already marked out my center light and then my two other sides. So pay attention, and you turn those lines toward the line here. Those arrows toward the line here. And here we go. There you go, boom. Light comes on and we're good. And there you go. After you install your track heads, just pay attention which way each of the tracks are facing according to the reflected ceiling on the plan. And then carry a microfiber towel to wipe off any and all smidges left after your hands, or wear gloves, but eventually you will leave a mark somewhere. Just wipe it off, and then at the end, when everything is installed, all the cabinets, fixtures, and everything, then you'll be able to adjust the height of these lamps. But other than that, that's it. Pretty simple to install these, actually. There's also other methods where they're on aircraft cable, a whole bunch of different. There's also wall mount. I might show that as well, but that's it.